Hey there, welcome back to my channel. When a woman leaves, it shakes your ego. But when she comes back, that's when it really tests your self-respect. Most men fail right here because they either cling like they've been rescued or they punish her like she's guilty. Both are mistakes. If she returns, you act like this. Before I break this down, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and stay with me till the end. Because what I'm about to share isn't surface level dating advice. It's the mindset shift that separates desperate men from men of true strength. 1. Stay grounded, not grateful. When a woman leaves and later returns, many men make the mistake of treating her like she just handed them oxygen. They suddenly act as if her presence is a favor, as though their life was incomplete without her. And now that she's back, they're finally whole. Again, that's where men lose. Because the moment you pedestal her return, you silently admit that your worth was waiting on her decision. That's desperation. And desperation always kills respect. Here's the truth. You were a man before she came, and you're still a man if she goes. You had value the day she walked away, and you still have it when she returns. Nothing about your essence changed. Staying grounded means carrying yourself with that quiet certainty. You don't need to put on a performance. You don't need to act cold or distant, but you must avoid the trap of acting grateful like you just won the lottery. Think about it. Imagine you run into an old friend who disappeared from your life for years without explanation. If they suddenly come back, would you throw yourself at their feet? No. You'd welcome them politely, but you'd also keep in mind you weren't starving without them. The same applies here. A woman's return isn't a miracle. It's just her choice based on her own realizations or regrets. Don't treat it like salvation. Treat it like what it is, a decision. Staying grounded is about posture, energy, the way you hold yourself. You listen, you engage, but you don't bend your spine. You don't gush with thank yous or exaggerated relief. You meet her with calm balance, with the quiet vibe of I was fine before and I'm fine now. Let's see if this makes sense for both of us. That's strength. That's respect. Women feel it instantly. They may not admit it, but they test for it. And the man who passes that test is the one who never gives away his self-respect for affection. 2. Acknowledge, don't over-validate. Here's where most men crash. They start flooding her with validation the moment she walks back in. Thank you for coming back. I promise I'll never let you down again. You're everything I needed. That's not love. That's insecurity, dressed as kindness. She doesn't return because she wants to be ripped. And when you do that, you shift into approval-seeking mode without realizing it. Acknowledgement, on the other hand, is power. It's measured. It's when you simply recognize her choice without turning it into an emotional parade. A short, simple line like, I hear you, or I appreciate your honesty, carries more weight than 1,000 desperate promises, because real strength doesn't scream, it whispers. Think of it like this. If someone repays money they borrowed years ago, you acknowledge it with a nod, maybe a thank you, but you don't throw a party in their honor. Why? Because that repayment doesn't erase the years without it. Same with her return. You can recognize it without acting like it resets the past or proves her loyalty forever. Over-validation is a silent killer. It tells her you're still afraid of losing her, and fear never builds attraction. Women sense when your words come from strength versus when they drip with desperation. That difference shapes every Tessa's aunt. Hing. If your acknowledgement is calm, short, and rooted in your self-respect, she feels it. She respects it. She sees you as a man, not a boy, begging for acceptance. And in relationships, respect is the foundation. Without it, nothing else lasts. 3. Set clear standards, calmly. This is where most men fold. She comes back, and he's so relieved that he just goes along with whatever she wants. He thinks she's back. That's enough. But if you don't set standards right here, the same problems that broke you before will repeat. Because a relationship without boundaries always defaults to her rhythm, not yours. Standards don't mean you start barking rules or making demands. Standards are about calmly declaring what matters to you. If we're doing this again, I need honesty. If we're trying again, I won't tolerate games or silence. If you want my presence, I expect mutual effort. That's not control, it's self-respect. Delivery matters more than the words. Calm equals control. If you shout, argue, or threaten, you're already losing. If you beg, you're lost too. But when you calmly state your values without fear of her reaction, it shows that your peace is not negotiable. Here's the key. You don't need her agreement. You don't force compliance. You just live by your standards with or without her. And that's powerful, because when a woman sees that you actually mean what you say, not because you yell, but because you consistently act, she respects you. Not because she's forced to, but because she feels the weight of your steadiness. That's what makes her think twice before testing boundaries. That's what makes her step up or step out. Either way, you win, because you never lose yourself. 4. Watch actions, not just words. When she comes back, her words may sound like music. I've changed. I miss us. I want this to work. Sweet talk is easy, especially when guilt or loneliness drives it. But here's the trap. Words cost nothing. Actions cost effort. That's the currency you should trust. Too many men jump at her words like thirsty travelers grabbing a mirage. They think the problem is solved because she said the right things. But words can lie. Actions rarely do. If she says she wants honesty but still hides things, watch that. If she claims she values you but shows up inconsistent, watch that too. The truth is always in her patterns. This doesn't mean you turn suspicious or paranoid. It just means you stay awake. You compare what she says with what she shows. Love isn't spoken, it's lived. Commitment isn't declared, it's proven. So instead of getting hypnotized by apologies or promises, pay attention to whether her behavior really aligns with her words. Does she show consistency? Is she present? Or does she slip into the same cycles that caused the break? This is how you protect yourself, not by hoping blindly, but by watching wisely. And when she realizes you're a man who doesn't fall for words alone, she knows she has to show up with real effort. That's when respect deepens, because she sees you're not fooled by the surface. 5. Control the emotional pace. Here's where men destroy second chances. They rush. The emotions are strong. The nostalgia is sweet, and the longing makes them want to go a line immediately. But when you speed up out of fear, you hand over control. You stop leading and start reacting. Controlling the pace doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means letting things grow steady instead of forcing closeness. Don't try to recreate the old routine in a week. Don't flood her with calls, texts, or constant validation. Slow down. Give the connection space to breathe. Think of it like healing a wound. If you rip the bandage off too fast, the scar stays. But if you let it heal slowly, the skin becomes stronger. Same with relationships. Rushing just covers cracks with emotion. Taking it slow allows real repair. When you control the pace, you're no longer ruled by adrenaline. You're deliberate. You're patient. You allow trust to rebuild naturally instead of demanding instant intimacy. And she feels that. She feels the difference between a man desperate to secure her and a man calm enough to let things unfold. That calm creates respect. Respect creates attraction. And attraction without fear is what keeps her. 6. Be the man who could walk away, but chooses wisely. This is the final test. When she comes back, many men slip into a hidden fear. The fear of losing her again. That fear makes them cling, compromise, and even abandon their standards just to keep her. But here's the paradox. The moment you act like you can't walk away, you've already lost her respect. The strongest men carry this energy. I want you, but I don't need you. I can love you deeply, but I can live without you if I must. That's not arrogance. That's freedom. When you carry yourself this way, you're not begging for her to stay. You're choosing to stay because it feels right, not because you're terrified of being alone. She will test this. She will watch if you crumble, when she pulls back, or if you stay steady. And when she sees that you could walk away, yet you choose to stay from strength, not fear, that's when respect turns into deep attraction. That's when she knows she can't play games. You love, but never at the cost of your dignity. You invest, but not at the cost of your identity. That balance is what makes a man unshakable. And that's the kind of man a woman doesn't just return to, she stays for. So if a woman comes back, remember it's not your prize, it's your test. Don't beg, don't overvalidate, don't rush, stay grounded. Watch her actions, set your standards, control the pace, and above all, be the man who could walk away but chooses wisely. That's the man she respects, and that's the man who never loses himself. If this video gave you clarity, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and drop a comment saying, "I choose strength."